Joe Hopkins here, and on today's episode of Joe Likes Beer, Joe is gonna like some beer, I think. Maybe I'll like it. I hope I like it. Yeah, Joe Likes Beer, the show that gives me an excuse to drink a beer. And today I have Glutenberg Pale Ale. That's right, it's gluten-free. Why is it free of gluten? Because some people are not gluttons, unlike me, who is a glutton for punishment. Punishment is all that I have left. Punish me, Mama, I deserve it. I've earned that punishment. I've been bad. And yeah, I'm a glutton for it. So I'm not gluten-free, but some people are. Like my wife, she can't have gluten. And, I thought it'd be nice for her to be able to have a drink once in a while, so I got me the gluten-free, right? Gluten is bad for some people. Not me, I'm a glutton. Definitely a glutton. Glutenberg Pale Ale, 5.5% alcohol by volume, 16 fluid ounce, 473 milliliters, 1 pint. That's a pint. And what is it made of, since it's gluten-free? Millet, buckwheat, and corn beer. Okay, where is this stuff even made? Let me see. We've got warnings. We've got ingredients. Water, millet, buckwheat, corn, sugars, hops, yeast. Okay, so it's a beer. Brewed and canned by Microbrasserie Olutenberg, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. It's from Canada. Oh, man, I like Canada. Canada is a good place, right? But we're going to give this Glutenberg a try. Because, no wheat, right? Ooh, smells like beer. Very hoppy. It's definitely got the taste like, like those microbrew kind of stuff where it's got lots of hops to it. Sometimes you like that, sometimes you don't. Very hoppy stuff. But other than that, I can't really tell a lot of difference between this and any IPA I might get, Well, yeah, it is a pale ale. So, definitely tastes like any other, small batch IPA. It's not bad. A little expensive. It was these 16-ounce cans. 4 of them were like $12, right? So what's that? $3 a beer? Yeah, it's about right. Little pricey in my opinion, but not bad. Not bad. I like it. It's a pretty good beer, considering it is gluten-free. Most beers are not. Most beers have wheat in them, and therefore, my wife can't have them. But she can have this, I think. I don't know. She's not a big beer fan. I got this because I thought she might want to try one of my favorite drinks, which is made with beer, and that is kombucha and beer mixed together. Right? She likes kombucha. I get the ginger berry kombucha, and I pour it in. I got one of those 1-liter beer steins. I pour the kombucha in, then I dump usually a lager or something in there on top of it, and it's pretty good. It's actually really, really good. Surprisingly good. I tried that stuff at it was the bar at Mount Vernon Marketplace, right? Where it's one of them indoor places where they got a bunch of different restaurants. And there's a bar there. Well, I got the kombucha and beer and tried it with my cheeseburger, and I thought, man, this is a really good drink. I like it. So now I enjoy it. I thought the wife might enjoy it because it doesn't really taste like beer, right? You put beer with the kombucha and it has a whole different flavor. And she's not big on beer, but usually for her it's wine or maybe a mixed drink, but that's a mixed drink made with beer. And it's pretty good. I think she'd like it. And I got this so that she could try it. Because, she does not react well to gluten at all. And for any of you guys out there that got the same problem, if you got celiacs, which my wife doesn't. She doesn't have celiacs. It's not an allergy. She's been tested, but she can't digest gluten. So for any of you guys out there with gluten problems, yeah, this is good. This is, you want a gluten-free beer? This is pretty good stuff. This is the second one I've tried, and they're both pretty good. The other one I tried, and it should be on my Joe Likes Beer playlist, which will come up at the end of the video, was that Green's gluten-free. And that's what I was looking for, but they didn't have it. But they had Glutenberg. I like the name, Glutenberg. Yeah, that's cute. And what I'm finding is you can make a very good gluten-free beer, which makes sense. I mean, there's not a lot of difference between wheat and these other grains, right? And you have a lot of breweries like Budweiser that use other stuff, like there's rice in it and whatnot. I've had good rice beers. I didn't see any at the store today, but I've had them and they're pretty good. You can make beer from any grain, right? So there's no reason why it has to be wheat. So, yeah, gluten-free, that's for me, or, you know, for my wife anyway. Now, you know, whatever. I'll drink anything, or at least I'll try anything. Some of them beers, I wouldn't try a second time. I've tried a lot of beers on Joe Likes Beer, but some of them were really not very good. Some of them were really good. This one is a good beer. It is. If you want something that's kind of hoppy and refreshing, and you know, this is it. This has got you. Even if you're not gluten free, this is a rather tasty beer. And it wasn't as expensive as some of the other like specialty beers that I saw there. A lot of them, they cost you some money, don't they? You want to get fancy beer, you pay fancy prices, okay? It's like the fancy underwear. It's not Hanes, it's not your standard whitey-tighties. The fancy drawers cost more, and your fancy beers cost more. And as far as fancy beers go, this is pretty good. I want to see, my curiosity here, okay? Does gluten-free beer, does it bloat you less? Because we all know, you drink a bunch of beer, you get a little bloated, okay? Does this bloat you less? It tastes great, but is it less filling, right? That is a good beer. They know how to make beer in Canada. I gotta say, man, the Canadians up there in Canada and down in Mexico, they make good beers, right? People don't think of Mexico as a beer country, but it is. They make very good beer down there. You know, a lot of it. A lot of the Mexican beers are quite good. And a lot of Canadian beers are quite good. I don't know if I like this as much as Labatt Blue. That is probably my favorite Canadian beer is Labatt. I really like Labatt. Good stuff, right? But Glutenberg, this is some good stuff. What I find particularly amusing about Glutenberg, okay? I bought it for my wife. My wife is a writer, right? Gutenberg made the first printing press. He revolutionized printing. And my wife lives on the printed word. And I bought her Glutenberg beer. I don't know. Does that make any sense? I don't know if it does or not, or if I'm just a little batty or something. This isn't my first beer today. It's my first Glutenberg beer, but not my first beer overall. You see, I was... I got me a 6-pack along with her 4-pack. Got a 6-pack of normal beer. And I was drinking that and watching a movie. And what movie, you might ask? I was watching a movie made by the greatest filmmaker in American history. And who could that be, right? Well, Netflix. They just added the movie Serial Mom, made by John Waters. That's right. John Waters, the greatest cinematographer, the greatest filmmaker, the greatest mind that this country has ever produced when it comes to movies. If you've never seen a John Waters movie, you should watch one, okay? The dude's from my hometown, from Baltimore. Baltimore, Maryland, which means you know the movie's kind of dirty and sleazy. And it is, but it's also very funny. His stuff is very amusing. Hairspray was his biggest hit, right? If you've ever seen Hairspray with Ricky Lake and all that. Not the musical, the movie, the original movie. Good stuff, right? My dad met John Waters multiple times. Not in any like social sense. You see, my dad worked at the Maryland Correctional Institute in Hagerstown. And John Waters apparently had a friend that got locked up and was incarcerated at MCIH. And my dad got to meet John Waters when he would come in to visit his friend. So, of course he has a friend that's locked. John Waters is from Baltimore, so his friend gets locked up. He ends up in a Maryland prison. And my dad and me work in the Maryland prison system. Well, my dad got to meet him multiple times. He'd come in to visit his friend. Kind of cool. He got to meet John Waters. Once again, not in a social sense. It's not like you get to hang out and say, oh man, I love your movies. No, it's more or less, do you have your ID? Can you pass the metal detector, please? All that kind of stuff. Right. Very, very down to business, but, you know. If you get a chance, go on to Netflix. Give Serial Mom a try. That's a good movie. Excellent, excellent movie. I love John Waters' movies. They're so sleazy and dirty. A Dirty Shame is really a great one if you can find it. That had Johnny Knoxville and Tracy Ullman in it. Yeah, let's go sexin'. That was the thing they would say. Let's go sexin'. It's about sex addicts in Baltimore. Because where did it take place? Hartford Road, I think. Yeah, bunch of sex addicts on Hartford Road. That shit's funny. That's very funny to me personally, and to anybody else that's familiar with the Maryland area. But today I'm drinking Canadian beer, not Maryland beer. I do like me some Maryland beer. Don't get me wrong. Let's see, Maryland. What are the best Maryland beers? You got National Bohemian. Used to be brewed right in Baltimore. Right, the old brewery is condos now. There's a bunch of condos in that building now. Baltimore Blonde. Guinness brews Baltimore Blonde, like right down the street from where I grew up. And when I was a kid, they used to brew Colt 45 right up the street. There was a Colt 45 Black Label brewery. They made Colt 45 and Black Label there. It's not there anymore. The one in Lansdowne, it's gone. Gone. But to this day, Colt 45 reminds me of my childhood. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't know. Right? Malt liquor. My childhood punctuated by Colt 45 malt liquor. Yeah. It's a very Baltimore thing. That was good. That was very good. I'm shocked, right? And I do feel less bloated, less slow, less, I don't know, maybe it digests better. I don't know. I got to try it. Gluten-free. It's free of all gluten and free of all glutton, except for me, because I'm a glutton for punishment and something like that. I'm confused now. I'm confused often lately. I think it's a combination of age and lack of sleep, right? Become a father and get a job where you work a lot of overtime and you start getting confused, right? But today is my day off. It's my day off, so I get to drink gluten-free beer and try it out for you guys to let you know, is it any good? Should you try it? And my answer is, if they sell it where you are, yeah, give it a shot, man. It's pretty good. That's some pretty good beer, right? And maybe you'll find that it doesn't bother your guts as much as regular beer. I find my guts are pretty much the same no matter what I put in them. Good thing too, because I do work in a prison and I do eat the food there, right? We get to eat as much as we want. I'm an officer. I'm a CO. I'm a corrections officer. So I go to the officer's dining room. They give us the same crap they give the inmates. We can just eat more of it. And I do. And my guts seem to be able to handle just about anything. Probably one of these days I'll die of some kind of weird stomach cancer from eating all that crap. But until then, I'm going to eat it, I guess. I mean, there isn't really much else. When I'm getting up early going for a double shift, I don't have time to pack a lunch, so I'll eat whatever's there. Yeah, even if it's not that good, it all makes a turd, right? Yeah, that's what they say. It'll make a turd. That's the point. It's the whole point. Anyway, thank you for joining me in this journey toward finding out which beers don't suck. Glutenberg beer does not suck. It's a good beer. If you need a gluten-free beer, give it a try. That was rather tasty. I enjoyed it. In fact, I might go enjoy another. I'm not sure though, because I did buy them for my wife. I don't want to drink all of them myself. That would be selfish. Selfish. Yeah, kind of like shellfish. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe to my channel, and you can check out some of my other beer reviews. There'll be a link here in a sec. It says Joe Likes Beer. That's the name of this particular program on my wonderful channel, because I like beer. It really is an excuse for me to just buy beer and drink it. So I'll see you guys next time. I love y'all. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.